Why are we here today? I think it is to discover and look into this thing called mental toughness. Now, a little bit of a formula, which I think everything can hang off for the rest of this presentation, which is a formula that we at TOUGHNESS base really everything that we do. Now, this formula, K plus S plus P multiplied by M, don't need to look at your brochures because it's not in there, equals P. What on earth does this actually mean? Okay, in the bracket, the K stands for knowledge, the S stands for skill, the P stands for process. The end P here is ultimately what I think we're all looking to achieve on an individual or team level, which is performance, preferably an exceptionally good performance, but a performance. So these are the ingredients that we believe make the performance: knowledge, skills, and process. Obviously, you need all those three things, but we multiply this by this thing called M, which is mindset. We wanted to actually find out globally what sort of impact mindset was happening on the performance of people. So we created 2 years ago something known as the Global Mindset Index. The little brochure you have in front of you is this year's response. We are a business that is spread around the globe. We've asked as many of our clients that were prepared to actually take part in this survey to do so, and we found some pretty interesting feedback in terms of how mindset is affecting performance. Basically, staff were, number one, still highly passionate about what they do. So this was 1 year into the global financial crisis. So passion was still high. Work ethic was still high. And number 15 was potential. People still felt high in terms of the potential of what they were doing. The big problem a year ago was number 4, which was the lowest figure. There was a distinct lack of belief in the leadership of the businesses they were working in. So you've got people believing in themselves but not the leadership. Number 2, the ability to cope varied massively with age. Now have a guess. Do you think it was the young, the middle, or the old who were coping worst with the crisis a year ago? What has happened this year, I think it's very, very interesting. Big swing is that in the eyes of the people who responded to the survey, their belief was that the company's prospects had dramatically improved. Their company's prospects. Right? What had dramatically reduced was the employee motivation within the company. So prospects up, motivation down. Okay? Now if we look at the 5 key personal motivators that we were measuring, I think this makes quite interesting reading. And these were the biggest shifts year on year in terms of our survey: passion, work ethic, self-belief, personal potential, and mental strength. You can see all have dramatically reduced in terms of scores. Okay, kind of scary reading if you are a leader or looking after people or people engagement within a business. I think that there is likely to be in a lot of businesses an increase in disaffected employees who don't believe that with a passion that they've got anything to work for. Now, they might still work there because there isn't immediate jobs to go to, but what will happen when the market changes and those jobs become available, especially with your good, marketable people? Okay? So staff retention, I think, is going to be very, very dangerous. There is a slight negative feeling towards companies' social reputation, which they might still stay in the company at the moment, but there is going to have implications when the market turns. And I think an interesting one, which you'll read in your little book here, we added some World Health Organization mental health questions to our last survey. And 25%, I think it was 26% of those people who responded would technically be classified by the World Health Organization as depressed. Okay? So, I think without a shadow of a doubt, when we get back to that K plus S plus P multiplied by M, this M is a relevant factor, all right, a relevant factor when looking at performance. What I'd like you to do is visualize a genuine peak performer, business person, sports person, musician, don't really care, and ask yourself the question, what are the attributes that differentiate the performance of these people from the average 90%? And we looked to research what was the difference between average and peak performance, not rubbish and peak performance, Big, big difference, right? Average and peak performance. We found time and time again, irrespective of the function, the seniority within the business, what type of business it was, we found that time and time again it was attitudinal attributes that seemed to create the peak performance rather than specific skill sets. Now, by the way, before we have a big discussion about this, the difference between rubbish and peak performance was definitely a skills gap. But average and peak performance, we found pretty similar skills. It's just that one group had the mental ability to apply it. Those skills, one group didn't. All right? Now, what we found interesting is most businesses, and I can see everybody here, most of you nodding here, agreed with this as with a gut feel, an instinct. Where do you think, though, most businesses in Britain today invest the bulk of their time and money in training and development? Skills. What sort of percentage? It's a cunning plan, isn't it? It's a cunning plan. We think long and hard about this. We know that the difference is over here, but let's continue to spend all our money. And to be frank with you, I am yet to find a business that's 80-20. It's normally 99-1, right? The one being someone like me that gets wheeled in once a year, and everybody goes, you're now motivated, get on and do it, right? So enough of me. Thank you very much indeed for giving up your time. Please grab a coffee if you want, and come and chat to any of our team at the back. We'll be happy to answer any of your questions. Thanks very much indeed.